Hello and welcome back to my newest video. This one is going to be a review of Feng Suave's second EP, Warping Youth. 3 years after releasing their debut self-titled EP, Feng Suave released their second one, Warping Youth. They rolled out the project with a couple of singles and ended up with a 6-song project. And while I think that adding one extra song would have made for a great debut album, I'm still very happy with the product that we got from them. Starting off with Half Moon Bag, the group starts off with a very summery, psychedelic song about the singer's bad thoughts about the world and its bleakness. Despite its very upbeat tonality, it makes for one of my favorite songs from the group, especially with a long instrumental outro with the guitars ripping throughout. I especially love the wavy sliding of the guitars. I'm not really sure how to exactly describe them, but it's always amazing when I hear it. It's super trippy and it makes for an amazing soundscape that always puts me in a good mood and has risen to be one of my most listened to songs from the duo. The next song, Toking Dozing, is the next track and of course has a message about just having a good day, with some funny thoughts and lounged around smoking weed. And it's very descriptive and there's some pretty funny lines in it. And as the track says, it's not really much thought-provoking. So it's kind of just a song you take at face value, nothing really too deep in it. It's very fun, again, very summery, very lighthearted. And this is one of their songs that actually has a pretty positive message. It's not like it's really saying much, but it doesn't have lyrics that they typically deliver, which has a lighthearted instrumental with more bleak or depressing lyrics to it. Moving on to the third track, Maybe Another Time, we get more of this world building, but it does go, of course, a little bit more bleak, with the narrator telling of a great day that he woke up to, telling of what he sees outside and what it looks all around him, but he can't help but wonder beyond all that and just think of the girl that he loves is with someone else. And by the end of the track, he, in quotes, mans up and confronts her to where she simply just says, maybe another time. Instrumentally, it is much slower than the previous 2 tracks on the EP, but I think it's just as elegant. As I said, I really like the world building and all the descriptions he puts throughout. I like just him vocally throughout, and with the light guitar plucks that are very lightly played with the percussion, it all feels just very gentle, and I think it all goes together really well. I'm Warping Here lends itself to the whole concept of the EP, which is about people faking who they truly are to fit in. People always warp their personalities to try and fit in or seem like they have more in common with people around them, when really all it takes to get along with people is to truly just be yourself. Again, it's a very upbeat song sonically with a more bleak message layered in it, as I talked about before. This is, kind of what their thing is. It's not bad. I really like it, and I think it leads for a great duality that the group has. But you really do have to pay attention to what's going on to understand. It's not the most complex, but it's also not very simple, so you do really got to read along to understand what they're talking about. But I do really like this one, highly recommend. Track 5 though, People Wither, is all about loss, the things that we get told when someone close to us dies, such as, I know how you feel, or things happen for a reason, especially, is something that you hear all the time. But with those phrases, you hear them over and over again, and for a little bit, you might believe it. Yeah, sure, you start to believe, things do happen for a reason, and these people do know how I feel, but once you hear it long enough, it starts to get really old, and it ends up not meaning anything. But in the end, it's just a cycle of life, and it's something that you have to deal with. The song instrumentally is also one of Feng Suave's most complex ones. It's filled with massive layering of not only instruments, but also backing vocals as well to the entire track. It creates a truly one-of-a-kind songscape that is even better than what it could have been if they had just kept it simple or just didn't do as much to it. I would also highly recommend, there is a YouTube channel, and they basically get a bunch of artists on to do live performances of different songs, and they did this. It's called A Color Show, and I would highly recommend checking out Feng Suave's live performance of People With Her. It's fantastic. I think I like it even more than the actual studio version. It's just really well done. So yeah. Lastly, we have Day One. It starts off very calm with our singer carrying actually a falsetto for the entire first half of the track before we are interrupted with a screeching feedback sound where a crazy electric guitar solo just leads us through the rest of the track for probably just about 2 minutes, 2.5 minutes for the rest of the song before coming back down for the final passage that ends the track off. I love the juxtaposition of the two halves. You have that very calm, about 2 minute intro, and then the 2 odd minute, electric guitar solo. And it is so different from, as I said, anything that they have made with, just really heavy instruments. It's something that they haven't done again since this, but I would really like to see them do more, whether it's a full song that's just as heavy or just to kind of implement these sounds into future tracks, even if it's just in little moments. While this isn't one of my favorite tracks of theirs, it is certainly one, though, that always creates such a grand experience and that feels unique every time. Like, when you hear this, you're like, wow, they don't have another song like this. This is truly unique, and it's really well done. Now for the highest high section. First off, we have Best Vocal Performance, which I will give to People With Her. Then Best Production, we have Half Moon Bag. As I have said, this has become one of my most listened to songs, and it is highly because of the instrumental. I do, of course, love the vocals and everything, but I really love the instrumentation and especially the wavy, super trippy psychedelic guitar in the back end of the track on the outro. Best songwriting, I will also give to People With Her. I really like the messaging and just the way everything's worded, and I think it's really well written. My favorite line will be from Half Moon Bag, and it is from the chorus, and it is, "No need to sigh, 'cause planet Earth can't fit inside a small half moon bag under your eyes." And yeah, basically, as I said, it's just about the bleakness of the world and basically saying, it's not all so simple and it can't be compacted so easily. Overall, I would give my enjoyment for this about an 82%. This is a fantastic project that I couldn't highly recommend enough, and I'm very excited to see what they have in the future. They do have one more EP that comes after this, which I will also be reviewing. It's not as long as this one, unfortunately, but still very happy that we have, anything from them, because they've been silent for the past 2 years, I think. So, yes, I'm very excited for that. So look for that video as well as more. Check out my Instagram and TikTok for my random song suggestion daily series. And I will see you in the next video. Subscribe to see more. Bye now.